Hi guys, and hello from Bolton in Lancashire. I'm currently in the UK, as many of you know. Just want to update you that we managed to raise the money for the demining tractor, and we raised $5,000 for that. That money will be taken from me into Ukraine, and I'll be there when the purchase of the tractor happens. We have managed to secure the tractor, and it is actually arriving with us tomorrow, on the promise that we do pay at the end of the month. So we're doing that, and that's the plan. And that's thanks to everybody who donated to myself, and thanks to Brandon also, who made a contribution towards the tractor. We're also trying to get some helmets for the Udar unit. It's the new unit that's been formed in Odesa to tackle the threat from the Shaheds in the air. For anybody who doesn't know what a Shahed is, it's one of the Iranian-made kamikaze drones that are launched at Ukraine from the occupiers, and there's a big problem with these drones in Ukraine at the minute. So there has been a unit that's been formed in Udar for them to try and tackle the problem in the south, and I'm also a part of that unit too. Obviously a lot of you know that I remove landmines, and I'm part of a sapper team, but because of winter and because it is minus 16, minus 21 in Kharkiv the other day, there's no landmine removal at the minute, whilst them temperatures are around. You know, it's quite difficult obviously, and the mines are actually frozen into the ground, and there's nothing you can really do to remove them. So it's probably going to be another few weeks before demining commences again. Now, many of you may not know who Udar is. Udar is Ukraine Volunteer Army, otherwise known as Ukraine Territorial Forces. We are an army in Ukraine that don't get paid. We operate on a non-salary basis, and we don't believe in actually taking money for fighting for Ukraine. The reason why I joined Udar is because I'm an expat in Ukraine. I've lived in Ukraine for nearly 5 years. I also have a home and a family in England as well, but I don't believe in taking money for Ukraine, and I do feel like this is my personal 1939 moment, where I believe that, you know, we should be doing everything we can to try and tackle, you know, the atrocities and the evil that's going on in the world. So just to put things into perspective, the results of what we had last year. So in terms of funding, including my own, because I do actually have work myself, we operate on a budget of around £1,200 per month, if we can. That's got to operate our vehicles, pay the rent. We do get a diesel donation as well, but that doesn't cover the whole month. We also have to pay just living costs, day-to-day costs of like food and things like that, but we do get a lot of food from the local community as well. They try and support us as well, because they know that we are volunteers. I'm the only British guy in that unit, everyone else is Ukrainian. We do have some support from some outside organisations, namely Sunflower Project, and they are obviously an American run organisation. So since June of last year, we've operated on a budget of, I like to say, around £1,200 a month. Now, that doesn't include the equipment that we bought. So in that time, and we've managed to remove 8,500, that's documented, there's actually more than that, landmines and dangerous munitions from the lands of Ukraine. Now, one shell in Ukraine, for Ukraine to buy, probably costs around £4,000 to £5,000 for a standard shell. That's what I read anyway. So if you put things into perspective, we have done a lot of good work, and it's excellent value for money, especially when it comes to the impact that we have on these areas, in terms of getting these areas back on their feet, and sometimes a lot of the munitions that can be reused do get reused as well by the army, because a lot of the positions that we are clearing are old Russian positions too. So sometimes we do come across like crates and crates of explosives and weapons that haven't been used yet. And due to Western failures, as we know, there's been a lot of failures and failed promises and things like that from the governments, not from us guys, because we do everything we can, me and yourselves, the viewers, to try and support Ukraine in this conflict. But due to Western failures, Ukraine needs everything it can get. So, you know, if there is weapons out there, rockets and things like that that do get reused, then they get reused. It's just the reality of it. And anybody who thinks differently or thinks that, you know, that was never going to happen is a very naive person, because I do come across these people on LinkedIn who like to try and scrutinise me, but they don't do anything themselves really. What are they doing to support the conflict? Nothing. But they've always got something to say, and I know you're probably watching now, so hello. And we're still going, you know, and we've had a lot less injuries than you guys. And I say that because they've always got something to say about our health and safety and how we work. But we're the team without the injuries. You know, we've never had any deaths or anything, but the same can't be said for them guys, to be honest, unfortunately. You know, I like to believe that we all should support each other, and we're all doing good work out there. But unfortunately, that's not the case with some of these guys. They like to be a bit critical about what I do, for whatever reason that is. I don't know. I don't know whether what I do affects their income or their future income, and I think that is probably the case. Because we clear landmines, we do it for free. We don't take any money from Ukraine to clear landmines. We operate on a very, very low budget, considering the work that we do. We just do it, we're just part of the people, and we do it for the people who don't get the aid. I mean, the areas that we work in, they're still blown up. Nobody's arrived yet. Nobody's arrived to help these areas yet. People living in houses with no roofs. Some people have been lucky enough to get emergency shelter, which is like a tent type structure in the yard, but that's not everybody. But if you do go to other sides of the country, you'll see that areas have been built up pretty fast, and that tends to be where the money's going. But where we operate, that's not the case. And these people are going to be waiting, you know, 1, 2, 3 years to get the houses rebuilt and stuff. But luckily, you know, we're there to help them. We're clearing the explosives out of the garden. We're the ones clearing the explosives in the backyard, in the house, and the roof. You know, we're pulling rockets out of roofs and walls and things like that. We're the ones who've done that this year. And now volunteer builders from England are actually in there rebuilding the houses now. And thankfully, thanks to these guys and thanks to the work that we did, and thanks to you guys who donate to us, the people in these villages, living in these ruins, now have somewhere to stay this winter. So anyway, back on topic. So yeah, the tractor will be bought this week. Well, it's coming to us this week, sorry. And I will be purchasing that at the end of the month. Also, we will be trying to raise money for obviously operations this year. We do need all the support we can get. I won't lie, I have spent a hell of a lot of money on thermal suits. I spent the money on the tractor, you know, that's aside. But if anybody wants to keep supporting us and our mission, please do. And the links to support us are in the video description. I will be trying to get as much equipment as I can for the new Udar unit. If anybody has anything to donate, any army surplus or anything that can help these guys, please get in touch with me, and I'll do my best to collect that. You know, we don't ask for much. You know, there's a lot of units and stuff out there that get a hell of a lot of equipment. You know, there's a lot of volunteers out there who buy so much expensive equipment and give it away to units which aren't really doing anything. One thing about us is that we are doing something. We are doing something every single day. You know, even when I'm in England, I'm working so hard. In England, I coordinate so much aid and things in Ukraine from here that I'm constantly working hard. You know, and that's why I look like I've aged like 10 years in 1 year, because, you know, we do our best, and yeah, and it's something that obviously I'm very passionate about. There's a reason why I don't work with a lot of other Westerners out in Ukraine. A lot of them just don't share the same values as what we do. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to say on that matter. But if you want to keep supporting us, I have had some patches that are getting made as well, which I will be giving out to our supporters as a way to say thank you. There will be other things as well. I don't want it to be a case of like, you know, donate and not get anything back. I always want you guys to have something back. And I always say that, you know, when this is over, or even maybe this year, when things are a little bit safer, I'd invite any one of you guys to come to the areas that we work in, and you can have a tour and you can come and stay with us. And you're more than welcome to do so, providing, you know, it's safe and it's comfortable for you, and you're not going to be a big burden on me. But yeah, you're more than welcome to come and see exactly where your money's made a difference in the exact villages and the areas. So yeah, so thank you very much. Keep supporting us. I am going back to Ukraine. I will be there at the end of the month. I am just waiting on some radios coming, which is in order for another unit. They've paid for that. So a lot of you know that I am kind of like a radio go-to guy. I get them at a good price. Radios are always needed in Ukraine, so I get them at a good price. I get them encrypted for free and programmed, and yeah, so that unfortunately I'm that go-to guy. But I am waiting on a radio order to come. The Sprinter's having its brakes fixed this week, and a shock absorber put on it. So yeah, once that's done, I'll be back in Ukraine, and you know, we'll hit the ground running again for 2024. So thank you, and have a good weekend. And I try and message every single one of you personally when you donate, and if I haven't, I do apologise if I haven't done that, but thank you, and honestly, your support means everything to us at Udar. Thank you.